and welcome back to our Yoga and the Enneagram series. Today's practice is going to be about Enneagram 8s. They're known as the Challenger. They have a lot of energy. They're super intense, driven, determined, can be intimidating. They might have a temper, but sometimes it's not just, full of rage to be full of rage, but they're actually fighting for what they believe to be right, fighting for justice, fighting for the good of others. In that, they might be more one-sided. What they think is true, and they might bulldoze over other people, but deep down they have really, really good intentions. 8s have a sort of hardness about them. They thrive on challenges, they thrive on intensity, on conflict. They might have grown up in tougher experiences, and that just kind of trained them to put on this hard exterior to get through things. 8s have a hard time showing softness or vulnerability. And then I read this in this book that I thought was interesting. When you're really poor, helpless, and weak, the 8's protective instinct is aroused, and they will do anything to assist you. But as soon as you express in any way that you have power, then 8s will prove that they have more power. You can never win a dispute with 8s. When you bring out your big guns, they will bring out still bigger ones. They can always shout louder than you. The actual energy of 8s is not anger or rage, although sometimes it can seem that way. Rather, it is a passion and a total commitment to truth, life, and justice. It is a passion for the cause they believe in, or the people for whom they feel responsible. So 8s can get a bad rap of being too intense, too overbearing, too challenging, but like I said, they do it with good intentions. And another good thing about them is that they're very unafraid. They will speak their mind, they will get things done, which is a good quality, instead of just sitting back and wondering and hemming and hawing. They take action, which is great. So we'll get started in a seated position, legs crossed, hands on knees. Actually, let's put our hands on our belly, so you can have one hand on top of the other, or one hand on the low belly, one kind of in the middle, whatever you want to do. Close your eyes, and we'll talk about our practice today. So hands on the core, this is our solar plexus. This is where we find our willpower and our energy and our drive and our passion. So we'll be doing a lot of strong pose variations today, because 8s are very strong and they love intensity. So we'll be sure to do some of that. But this core area is also where we can twist and detoxify and squeeze out any negative energy. So we'll be doing a lot of twisting postures as well. Just cleansing from ways maybe your extreme energy has damaged relationships or led to a damaged view of yourself. And then when we send breath into the belly here, we're able to surrender and restore, which is difficult for 8s, but we'll be sure to do some of those poses as well. Three more breaths. Just thinking about strength, surrender, cleansing, and restoring. Good, you can open your eyes, and then we'll do a little warm up here. So reach the right fingertips out to the side, sweep the left arm up and overhead. On an exhale, come back to center. On an inhale, go over to the left side. 2 more times. Inhale, left arm goes over to the right. Exhale through center, and then switch sides. breath into the side body. Good. Place the left hand on the outside of the right knee. Inhale, twist open to the right. Exhale, come through center, and then right hand on left knee. Torso opens to the left. And then exhale through center. 2 more times with your breath. Inhale to expand. Exhale to release. Good. Come onto all fours, tabletop pose. Knees stacked under hips, palms stacked under shoulders. Create a nice wide base of support with your fingers. Toes can be tucked or untucked. And then we'll come into some cat-cow. So on your inhale, drop your belly, broaden through your collarbones, lift your head. Exhale, round your spine, curl tailbone to forehead. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Two more. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the shoulder blades back. Exhale, back of the heart reaches up towards the ceiling. Good. Move the left hand towards the center of the mat. Inhale, sweep the right hand up towards the ceiling, and then thread the right hand underneath the left elbow, dropping onto the right shoulder and the right ear. For thread the needle. Left hand can help prop you open, or you can come behind your back to your right inner thigh for a bind. Good. Plant the left hand, reach that right hand up towards the ceiling, and then replace it in the middle of your mat. Inhale, sweep the left hand up. Exhale, thread it through, resting on your left ear and left shoulder. Right fingertips can push into the mat or reach around behind. Good. Plant the right palm, reach up through the left fingertips, and then come back to neutral. So from here we'll move to the top of our mat and we'll work through some sun salutations just to get the body warmed up. Feel the ground beneath your toes. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back through plank. And then on this first one, let's lower onto our knees. Come into, actually lower down all the way to your belly. Elbows pinned by the side. And then palms on the sides of the ribs. Inhale, use your back muscles to lift the chest up for low cobra. Just getting activated here. Good. Exhale, tuck the toes, push up, and back to downward facing dog. And we'll take one extra breath on this first one. Letting the heels melt a little closer to the mat. On your next inhale, look forward, step forward, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center. One more sun A with your own breath. Inhale, reach it up, arch through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Bend as much into the knees as you need. Inhale, fingertips to mat or to shins. Straight spine. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back through plank and your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We'll take one more breath here. On your inhale, look forward, step forward with the opposite foot, halfway lift through the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands at heart center. And then we'll go through 1 or 2 rounds of Sun B, just to get warmed up in those poses as well. So on your next inhale, sit the hips back into chair pose. And we'll stay here for an extra breath or 2. So feel the inner thighs hug together. Biceps frame the ears. Inhale, lift the chest a little higher, sit the hips back. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back through plank and your chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward for warrior 1. So toes are facing straight and then the right heel drops down at a 45-degree angle. Inhale, sweep the arms up. We'll spend an extra breath here. Roll that right hip bone forward. Exhale, plant the hands. Lower either onto your knees or through your push-up. Cobra or up dog. Down dog. And then inhale, step the right foot forward for warrior 1. Dropping onto the left heel, raising the arms up, and rolling that left hip bone forward. Slide the shoulder blades down the back. And then plant the hands, step through your plank, whatever vinyasa you want to do here. Find your way in downward facing dog. Look forward, inhale, step forward, halfway lift. At the top of your mat, exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sit the hips back. Exhale, hands at heart center, stand. We'll do one more of those a little more quickly. Use your breath to sustain and purify throughout this practice. So let it be strong and purposeful. Inhale, sit back into chair. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Work through your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward for warrior 1. Quick transition. Exhale, plant the hands. Step back through plank. Lower down. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, roll over those toes and send the hips back. Inhale, right leg steps forward for warrior 1. Exhale, palms frame the foot, step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step forward to the top of your mat with both feet. Lift it up. Exhale, drop down. Inhale, come through chair pose. Exhale, stand up. You should be feeling pretty warmed up now. We'll step the legs open wide, so face the long edge of your mat. So for each of these poses, we're going to do a hard variation, a twisted variation, and a restorative variation. So it'll be great for aids because we'll get the intensity with the hard stuff, and then we'll be able to kind of squeeze out and cleanse and detoxify any type of negative energy that has gotten you in maybe a rough place, and then just to go into those restorative poses and invite more softness in. So Feet are wider than the hips. Place your hands on your hip bones. Inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, tilt forward. Keep a very small bend in your knees and let the torso come parallel to the ground. So you're sticking the booty back, stretching through the hamstrings, and then if you're able, reach the arms out in front of you. Good. And we'll exhale to stand. Inhale to lower. Exhale to stand, pull your belly in towards your spine, and lower. Exhale to stand. Inhale to lower. So you're working a lot right now. You're working your backside body through the hamstrings and glutes. You're working your core, and then you're working your shoulder and back muscles. Do 3 more. Exhale, come up and straighten. Inhale, lower the torso parallel to the mat. Use that breath. Last one, come up. Good, drop the arms down. And then place the left hand in the center of the mat. Sweep the right fingertips up. Nice twist to the right. Exhale, come through center. Plant the right hand and lift the left. Exhale, center. So we're expanding and creating space on our inhale. Preparing on our exhale. One more on each side. Good. And then just grab opposite elbows. Bend a little more generously into the knees. And let the upper body hang heavy for a forward fold. Invite some surrender into your practice. Let the breath slow. Two more breaths. Good. In your forward fold position, just rotate towards the top of your mat again. Feet are more narrow. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands and step back to down dog. Inhale, shift it forward over the shoulders. Drop the hips for floating dog. So you're still tucking your toes and your hips are not touching the ground. Inhale to lift the chest. And exhale, push everything back to down dog. Nice strong breath. Good. And then from here, step the right foot forward. Lower the left heel down at a 45-degree angle. Prop up the right elbow onto the right knee and open the hips and chest to the left side of the mat. We're coming into side angle. So inhale to reach those left fingertips towards the wall. Long line of energy all the way down to your toes, to your heel. So for a harder variation, if you wish, you can nestle the right elbow on the inside of the right knee and then sweep the arm back behind your back, coming into a bind here. So fingertips are grasping in the back. This forces you to stabilize a lot more through that right hip. Good. Slowly release. And for our twisted variation, bring the feet in a little more narrow. And then place the left hand You have an option to use a block if you need, but place it on the outside of the right foot. So here's a block if you need it. And then we're gonna twist open to the right. Right fingertips reach up to the sky. Try to stay on that left heel. If you need to raise up, that's okay. Feel the twist coming through your core, through your stomach. Squeeze everything out on an exhale. Good. Release the right arm down. Heel toe the right foot out to the side. Drop the left knee. And we'll come into a restorative lizard. So option to use a block underneath the elbows. Just letting everything get heavy, letting the hips sink towards the mat, opening up through the inner thigh and the groin. If it feels good, you can roll onto the outer side of the right foot and let that right knee drop out to the side. Good. Come back up onto your hands. And then from here, we're going to come into side plank, using our left side as support. So push strong through the left palm of the hand, raise up onto the toes on the left side. And then if you're able, root that left toe into the mat. We're going to lift our right arm and our right hand as high as we can. Using everything here to stabilize. Push strong into the left foot. Draw the navel in towards the spine. Lift a little higher. Good, and then drop the right leg down. Inhale, cactus the right arm. Heart shines towards the sky. And exhale, twist it under. Inhale, cactus it up. Lift. Exhale. Twist the right arm underneath the body. 3 more times. Good. Plant the right fingertips on the side and then just lower that left hip down to the mat. So we're coming into our restorative version, and just let that left shoulder creep up. Let the right ear rest on the left shoulder. Right fingertips are in front of you for support. Let the breath slow. Let it find its way in between each and every rib on your left side. Good. Plant both palms. Walk the feet forward into a forward fold at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step all the way back to downward facing dog. Inhale, floating dog. Let the hips hover, lift the chest, and then big exhale. Back to downward facing dog. Good. We'll come to face the side of your mat again, whichever way is comfortable to get there. So hips are nice and wide. Point the toes out and the heels in. We're going to lower into goddess pose. So the hips sink between the knees. Lift the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And then push those knees out as much as you can. So you can stay here, or if you want, we can come on to the toes by lifting the heels. And then we'll work into some pulses here. So just drop the hips lower and let them bounce back up. We'll do about 15 or 20 of these. Let your breath carry you through, create some fire. Thrive on the intensity. Let's do 5 more. Good, plant the heels, hands on either knee, and then inhale to lift the chest, exhale, drop the left shoulder. Inhale, straight spine, exhale, right shoulder drops, torso twist open to the left. Inhale through center, exhale to the right side. Good, one more in each direction. Inhale, straight spine, exhale, left shoulder drops. And right shoulder. Good, let's heel toe the feet in a little closer, but you'll still end up with toes pointing out, heels pointing in, and then bend deeply into the knees, drop the hips. We'll come into kind of a wider Malasana squat. Hands in prayer position at heart center. Elbows are pushing out against the knees. Oh, yes, and knees are pushing in against the elbows. This is our restorative option. So if this is hard for you, let's bring a block underneath the sit bones just so you can relax and let the inner thighs open more easily. If you're just go, go, go all the time and intense all the time, you lose out on so many benefits of these other postures or just other life attitudes, other relationships. So make time for both. One more breath. And then fold forward. Walk the feet to the back of the mat in this forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, step back to down dog. This is our kind of our cleansing vinyasa here. Inhale, hovering dog, floating dog. Big exhale. Back to downward facing dog. So let any of that old stale energy out through these vinyasas. Good. We'll come into our side angle on the other side. So left foot steps forward, right heel drops, left elbow rests on the knee, and then reach those right fingertips towards the wall. Open your chest, use your left elbow to rotate you open more. If this feels good here, stay. Otherwise, you can reach the right arm behind your back, and then left arm underneath your thigh, coming in for a bind. Try to open the chest just as much as you would without the bind. Good, slowly release. And then wiggle those feet in a little closer towards the middle of the mat. Grab a block if you need on the outside of the left foot. We're gonna come into revolved side angle. So bend generously into the left knee, and then right fingertips come to the outside of the right foot, and then you extend through the left hand. Again, keep that right heel planted if you can, otherwise roll onto the toes. Good, from your revolved side angle, plant both hands, heel toe the left foot out, drop onto the right knee, and we'll lower down into lizard. So elbows can prop on a block, roll onto the outer side of the left foot to let the knee drop. the hips sink lower on each exhale. One more breath. Good. We'll pluck the block out, and then we're going to come into a side plank on the right side. So all the way through the right palm, and then rotate onto the whole right edge and right toe on that side for a lot of support here. And then lift the left arm and left leg as high as you can. Use the right glute to support you and the left glute to lift higher. Try to create length as well as lift. And then drop the left leg down. Inhale, cactus. The left arm, heart rotates towards the ceiling. Exhale, left fingertips twist and reach under the right ribs. Inhale, cactus the arm up. Exhale, rotate under. 3 more. Last one. Use that strong breath. Good. Now lower onto the right hip. And just kind of let the whole right side body sag. Ear and shoulder meet. Feel the heartbeat start to slow. And invite a slow cleansing breath between each rib space, especially on this back right side. Two more breaths. Good. Left palm plants, and then just walk the feet forward into a forward fold, the back of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. We're going through our cleansing vinyasa. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, floating dog. Big exhale to down dog. Good. Step forward at the top of the mat. And then we'll meet in chair. So inhale, send the hips back, bend the knees, arms reach up overhead. Slide the shoulders down, draw the navel in towards the spine. You can stay here, or let's come onto our toes and hands at heart center. And lower down from chair into a toe stand. So nice and slow, sink the hips towards the heels, then we'll stand it back up. And then exhale, hands at heart center, lower down, toe stand. Inhale, raise it back up to chair with lifted heels. 3 more. Exhale down, nice and controlled. Inhale, shoot it up to chair. Lift the heels higher, 2 more. Invite the intensity in. Last one. Good. Plant the heels. We're going to come into our twist. So hands gather at heart center. And then on an exhale, rotate the torso to the right. Hook the left elbow on the outside of the right knee. Use the hands pressure against each other to open more. Check your knees, make sure the left knee is not scooting out in front of the right. Feel a twisting through your torso. Kind of squeezing your organs here. Good. Exhale, forward fold. My legs are burning. And then inhale, chair pose. Exhale, hands at heart center. Inhale, twist, actively open to the left. And then hook that right elbow. Let the tailbone be long. Good. Drop it into a forward fold. Let's do our restorative pose here. So come to standing. All the way through the left foot. Inhale, reach the right knee up, and then come into a figure four, a standing pigeon. So the right ankle rests on the top of the left thigh, and then we just sink our hips back and fold our body over. Option to use a block here for balance or to lift you a little higher. Otherwise, just melt into this. Let the right outer glute soften. One more breath. Good. Slowly lift it back up, pushing through the left heel. Nice and strong through those left toes. Unwrap and then put all the weight through the right foot. Inhale the left knee up and then figure four, placing the left ankle over the right knee. Inhale to lift and exhale, just drape the body down. You can adjust your foot to wherever you feel the best stretch here. Find length now between each spinal segment as the crown of the head drops. You can play with different angles of bending your knee and hip. We want to feel stretched, but we don't want it to be so intense that we're just tensing our whole body up. So try to find that sweet spot. 2 more breaths. Good. Slowly unravel and just drop that left foot down so you end up in a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Fingers to shins. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, hovering dog. Exhale, send it back. Good. Let's come plant the knees on the mat, swing the feet out in front of you, and we'll move into a boat pose. So you're balancing on your sit bones here, and then let's lift the shins to parallel first. You can use your arms beside or behind you for support. They can be out in front of you. If you want to try, you can extend arms and legs long. But we're going to move into high to low boat. So on an inhale, drop, straighten everything to the ground, arms overhead. Your heels and your shoulder blades are still hovering. On an exhale, come to high boat. Inhale, low boat, straighten and extend. Exhale, high boat. 3 more. Good. Drop the toes down and we'll roll onto our backs here. Hug the knees in briefly. And then we're going to come into eagle arms and legs. So wrap the left leg over. You can double wrap by hooking the left toes behind the right ankle. Since the left leg is over, let's put the left arm underneath the right, and hands can clasp in the middle. So on an inhale, drop the fingertips and the toe tips towards the mat, overhead, and then squeeze it in towards center. Inhale, lift overhead. Squeeze everything, pull it in. 3 more. Expand and let the toes and fingers touch the ground. Then pull everything in, using your own body to create traction against itself. 2 more. Good. Unwrap the hands. Keep the legs how they are and just let them drop over to the right side. So we're coming into a spinal twist with eagle legs. Starting to slow everything down here. Come back to center, unravel the legs, and then we'll switch sides. So let that right leg come over the left, the right toes behind the left ankle for a double wrap. And then right arm comes underneath the left and hands meet in the center. So squeeze in everything like you're making a margarita and squeezing a lime. And want to get every last bit out. Inhale, let the fingers and toes touch the mat, extend through the core a little bit, and pull it in. Sending fresh blood and fluid into this center area that is our gut, that is our decision-making center, our strong core, the place where 8s reside mostly. 1 more. Every last bit. Good, then unravel the arms and let the legs, you might need to scoot your hips over, but let the legs, the knees drop to the left side of the mat. As you root the right shoulder blade. Let the softness hit you now. Release your hold on everything. There's no more need for control here and now. You can unravel your legs and then send them out to the corners of the mat. And for this Shavasana, let's have our hands on our bellies like how we started. So take up as much space through the legs and feet as you need. You can feel your pulse going through your stomach here. just release the arms to wherever's comfortable. If you enjoy them where they are, then keep them. Otherwise, you can let them rest on your side. Just let a feeling of softness and surrender envelop you. Stay in your Shavasana. I'm going to read a quote here by Brené Brown. It says, "Vulnerability is not winning or losing. It's having the courage to show up and be seen when we have no control over the outcome. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is our greatest measure of courage." So you can stay in Shavasana and just reflect on that, or you can come meet me in a seated position at the top of your mat. Just know that as 8s, we need your power and your intensity, and we need go-getters who get things done and are passionate about their causes, and that's so beautiful. But know that you can also let your outer shell soften sometimes. You spend so much energy all the time, and it's okay to just rest in some stillness every once in a while. And know that in letting others in, you're not showing weakness. You're improving your communication and your relationships. And I hope today gave you a chance to work into that intensity that you love, but also to maybe think about circumstances where you needed to cleanse or detoxify or reflect maybe how you treated people recently. And then just to, like I said, invite some stillness and softness in. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed today's practice, and have a great day. Namaste.